So on the AP test, you can use your calculator to evaluate 4 different things. First, you can use your calculator to plot the graph of a function. 2, you can use your calculator to find the zeros of a function. 3, you can numerically calculate derivatives at a point of a function. And 4, you can evaluate definite integrals of a function at a point. And now I'm going to show you some examples of how to evaluate different functions on a TI-84 calculator. Today we're discussing how to evaluate derivatives and integrals using your calculator. So first we're going to evaluate the derivative of the function 4x squared plus 5x plus 2, and we're going to evaluate it at x equals 5. So first you're going to y equals and type in your function 4x squared plus 5x plus 2. Y'all should be pretty good at this by now. And then get out of that. And to go take the derivative of a function, you will press math, scroll down until you see nderiv, or as soon as you press math you can hit 8, press enter. You're taking the derivative of your function as a function of x with respect to x, so type in x there. And if you want to put in the function we typed in earlier for y1, you can type in alpha trace y1, and you're evaluating this function at x equals 5. So you type in 5, hit enter, and the derivative at the function at x equals 5 for 4x squared plus 5x plus 2 is 45. Okay, so now we're going to take the integral of the same function earlier, 4x squared plus 5x plus 2. So go back into y equals, type in your equation, 4x squared plus 5x plus 2. Out of that, you go into type in math, scroll down, you see FNINT or math 9, press enter. We're going to evaluate this integral from 0 to 5. Those are your limits. So we can take the integral a to b, where 0 is a and 5 is b. And then inside of the parentheses, you type in your equation where you put in for y1, so alpha trace y1. You're taking this integral with respect to x, type in enter, and the integral of this function from 0 to 5 is 239.166 repeating, or on the AP test, you evaluate to 3 decimal places, so 239.167. Okay, so now we take the derivative and an integral of a function. It's a little tougher, but you can still do it by hand. We're going to do it on the calculator anyway. So our function is e to the 2x plus 7x. And first we're going to evaluate the derivative at x equals 3. So go back into y equals and type in your function, e raised to 2x plus 7x. Math, type in 8, and take the derivative with respect to x, alpha trace y1. We're evaluating this derivative at x equals 3, enter, and it's 813.858. And now we're go ahead and take the integral of the same function. So math 9, and let's evaluate this from 0 to 3. So your limits will be from 0 to 3. Same function, so alpha trace y1 with respect to x, and that integral is 232.714. So now the last function we're going to evaluate. Can't necessarily do this by hand, or at least where y'all at, you can't. So we evaluate the derivative and integral of the function sine squared of 5x times cosine of x plus the natural log of x. And we're going to evaluate the derivative at x equals 3. So first go into y equals, and sine of 5x quantity squared times the cosine of x plus the natural log of x. Check to make sure you're in radians, which I am. And we're going to take the derivative of this function at x equals 3. So math 8, derivative with respect to x, alpha trace y1 at x equals 3. Enter. And it comes out to about 5.164. So now we're going to evaluate the integral of this function. To evaluate from 0 to 3 again. So math 9, integral in your limits 0 to 3, alpha trace y1, taking the integral with respect to x, and the integral of the function is 0.317. We'll take that same derivative of that function 4x squared plus 5x plus 2 in case you happen to have the old operating system. So check your function 4x squared plus 5x plus 2, and we're going to do the same thing. So math 8, but now in classic mode you have inderiv. So first you go to vars, y vars, function y1, comma, and taking the derivative with respect to x, comma again, and you're evaluating this derivative at x equals 5. So 5, parentheses, enter. And the derivative of 4x squared plus 5x plus 2 at x equals 5 equals 45. So now we're going to take our integral of that same function, 4x squared plus 5x plus 2, in classic mode. So check your function, 4x squared plus 5x plus 2. You enter math 9, and you go back to vars, y vars, function y1, and taking your integral with respect to x, don't forget your commas, and you're evaluating this integral from 0 to 5, 0, comma, 5, close your parentheses, hit enter, and your integral of the function 4x squared plus 5x plus 2 from 0 to 5 is 239.167.